Hey everybody, it's Steve Huber here. I hope you're having an awesome week, an awesome Wednesday. Hey, yesterday's newsletter came out. It was probably the most engaging newsletter that I've ever written. And first off, thank you for all of you that read it and wrote me back and said, hey Steve, this hit the nail on the head and this inspired me, and I shared it with my friend, and all the great, wonderful things that you guys said. It's honestly why I put the newsletter together to begin with, was just to have another way to interact with you and to learn and be inspired by all of you every day. So thank you so much for doing that. But I wanted to share and talk about it here today because honestly, I think it was just a cool message. And it started off with a story. Last week, I was in a meeting, and it was kind of like a high-level meeting with some business owners and founders of some pretty successful companies. And I wasn't quite sure why I was in the meeting, but they're like, hey, Steve's a content guy. Like, he can get the message out. He knows how to talk. He knows how to do webinars. He knows how to do these meetings. He can talk to a camera. And it was so funny to me because I never set out to be that guy. Like, I never made this decision that I was going to become the content guy or the guy that was good at webinars or talking on camera. I've just done it more than them, and I still don't think I'm great at it, but I've done it certainly in the context of that room more than those guys have. And, I made a decision about maybe a year and a half ago to start posting somewhat regularly on LinkedIn. It really is just a way to engage and get myself out there. We have a saying in sales that if you're not visible, you're invisible, and I wanted to increase my visibility. And so I've probably put up over 300 posts in the last year on LinkedIn specifically, whereas these guys have maybe put up a handful. And I happen to do some podcasts, and I happen to do some webinars, and I every day talk to groups of people over Zoom or over camera. And so in the context of that room, I was the expert at that particular thing. And it got me just thinking about how if you dedicate yourself for 1 year to pretty much anything, you can become the go-to expert for that thing. And it's funny, my wife, for example, wanted to get into gardening. And so she joined the Master Gardeners program. And she's, it's kind of a public thing. Like, she has public service work that she does as part of that program. And so people start seeing her and associating her with it. And guess what? Like, in the context pretty quickly of her sphere, she is the best gardener. Like, she knows more about gardening than anybody else. And again, it's not like she knows everything, or it's not like she's been doing it for 40 years. She just started, was kind of public about it, and now when friends have questions about gardens or what's growing or what to do, they go to her. I have other friends that are really into AI, and they focus on AI, and they talk about AI, and they obsess about AI. And again, within 6 months, if I have an AI question, I'm like, I'm going to call that guy, because that's all he does, is he loves AI and he cares about it. And you can start actually making money on this stuff because people associate you as the AI expert. And if you need help with AI, and Tommy has done it over and over again, and he knows everything there is to know about AI right now, I'm going to hire Tommy to help me out with a problem that I have. There's people that handle email that obsess over emails, and that's all they do, is they just focus on delivery rates and focus on how to get as many emails into inboxes as they can. There's people that focus on fitness. Like, if your friend just lost a bunch of weight and started getting obsessed about fitness, and they did it for a year, and you were like, my God, this guy went from 300 pounds to 200 pounds in the last year, and he's obsessed with working out and obsessed with diet plans, and I want to lose weight. Guess who I'm going to call? I'm going to call that guy. I don't know if he has a degree, but I know that he cares about it, and he does it well, and he does it in the open, and I can see that he is passionate about this thing every day. So 1 year is all you need to completely change your identity from who you are today to maybe who you want to be, or give it a shot. Like, try something new. If you want to be the best, public speaker, just start focusing on public speaking. Let other people know that you're focused on public speaking. And guess what? If you do 10 public speaking events and somebody else is coming up on their first one, they're going to reach out to you and say, what are some things I need to know? You're so experienced at public speaking. If I wanted to run a marathon, and my friend spent the last year training for marathons and running 5Ks and ran a couple marathons from zero. I don't care where they were 2 years ago, but in the last year, they focused on running marathons. I'm going to reach out to my friend and say, hey, I want to run a marathon. Where should I start? Guide me in this thing. You're the expert now. And so once you realize that 1 year can completely change your identity in life, from who you are today to who you want to be, or at least who you think you may want to be, it actually is really powerful. Like, just spend a year, just do it, grind through it. There were weeks where I didn't want to put together a newsletter. Like, I was traveling with my family. We were in an RV. Like, we're in places that don't have great Wi-Fi. And I had to go sit at the coffee shop and write a newsletter and get it out because I dedicated to doing it for 1 year. And so you have to do those things, right? Grind through that. And most people can't, which is why I put the 1 year mark on there. Okay. If you can just do it for 1 year, 99% of other people won't, and they'll fall off, and you'll become the one that made it. You'll become the person that dedicated to learning about AI, not just as some passion project for a week because you saw some article that was interesting, but you dedicated to it for a year. And a year from now, all of your other friends and all of your other sphere of influence are going to look at you as the AI person, or the finance person. I have a friend right now that's starting, she is becoming the go-to resource for how to save money and travel light and on a budget. Like, that's amazing. And a year from now, everyone's going to associate her as the person that learned all those tricks for the last year that now they can go learn from. So anyways, I'll stop ranting. 1 year is all it takes. Like, figure out the one thing that you want to obsess about over the next year, you want to dedicate to. You just want to give it a shot and put it out there. And if you do it for 1 year, you're going to be ahead of 99.9% of people, and people will start associating you as the person that does that thing. And guess what? If you hate it a year from now, go do something else for 1 more year and become known for that. Okay, that's okay too. We've all done that before. So anyways, 1 year is all it takes. Just dedicate, change your life. Don't hop back and forth. You can't become an expert or the go-to person with a week worth of experience, because we can all dig into something for a week. 1 year is what you need, and you're going to be A-okay. You're going to launch it and do great things, amazing things in life. So anyways, this is your permission slip, right? Get out there. You don't need a degree. You don't need a bunch of expertise. You don't need to ask somebody. You don't need to be given like permission on something. You just need to go pick something you want to do. Dedicate to it for 1 year, and I promise you, you're going to be in a better place a year from now. Catch you later.